Have you ever found yourself sitting quietly in the evening, perhaps after dinner, thinking about how different life feels now compared to earlier years, and wondering whether the choices you make today will bring comfort or unnecessary stress into the remaining years of your life? After the age of 70, life no longer pushes us forward with noise or urgency. Instead, it speaks softly and asks us to slow down, to reflect carefully, and to protect the peace we have worked so hard to earn. One question that many senior men think about silently, but rarely discuss openly, is whether remarriage at this stage of life is truly a blessing, or whether it can quietly introduce challenges that are difficult to manage later. This is not a conversation about fear, and it is not a conversation about giving up on love. It is a conversation about wisdom, balance, and choosing what supports your health and peace of mind. Welcome to the Wisdom Vault, a place where age is respected, experience is honored, and life decisions are discussed with calm understanding rather than pressure or judgment. If you are a man over the age of 70, you have already lived through responsibilities that many people never fully understand. You have worked for decades, supported a family, made sacrifices, and experienced both love and loss. At this stage, life is no longer about building from scratch. It is about preserving what remains and protecting what truly matters. Remarriage after 70 is not simply a romantic or emotional decision. It affects your emotional stability, your financial security, your health, and the harmony of your family relationships. This video is meant to help you think clearly and gently about this choice so that whatever path you take is based on wisdom rather than loneliness or pressure. As you listen, take a moment from time to time to ask yourself whether the ideas being shared feel peaceful to your heart or whether they feel heavy. That quiet inner response is often your best guide. Reason 1. After 70, peace becomes a daily necessity, not a preference. When you were younger, compromise was a normal and expected part of life. You adjusted your routines, your sleep, your habits, and even your comfort because responsibilities required it. At that stage, the body and mind had the strength to adapt repeatedly without serious consequences. After the age of 70, however, the situation changes significantly. Your body becomes more sensitive to stress. Your energy levels fluctuate more easily, and your mind values calm consistency over constant adjustment. The routines you follow each day, such as when you wake up, how you eat, and when you rest, are no longer simple habits. They are essential systems that help you maintain physical and emotional stability. Remarriage often requires daily compromises, even when both people have good intentions. Differences in routines, preferences, and expectations can slowly create tension. What once felt like a small adjustment may now feel tiring and emotionally draining. It is important to ask yourself honestly whether you still have the emotional and physical energy to continuously adapt to another person's lifestyle, or whether you would rather protect the calm rhythm you have already established. At this stage of life, peace supports healthy blood pressure, better sleep, and emotional balance. Once that peace is disturbed, restoring it can be surprisingly difficult. Reason 2. Emotional weight becomes heavier and more sensitive with age. Every man carries emotional memories, especially after a long life filled with relationships, responsibilities, and losses. Memories of a late wife, moments of regret, and unresolved feelings do not disappear with time. In fact, as we age, emotions often become more sensitive rather than less important. Remarriage after 70 brings together two individuals who each carry a full lifetime of experiences. This means combining emotional histories that may include grief, disappointment, and deeply rooted habits. Even when both people are kind and understanding, misunderstandings can arise because emotional wounds heal more slowly at this age. Small disagreements can feel more intense, and unspoken expectations can quietly create distance. Sometimes, comparisons with past relationships happen without intention, and these comparisons can cause emotional discomfort that is difficult to resolve. It is worth reflecting carefully on whether the desire for remarriage is coming from a place of genuine emotional readiness or from a fear of being alone. Loneliness is a natural human feeling, but it often requires understanding, companionship, and emotional safety rather than the complexity of a new marital commitment. At this stage of life, emotional simplicity often protects mental health better than emotional intensity. Before we move on, I want to ask you a gentle question. Have you noticed any of these signs in your own life? If yes, please share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this information is helping you, please like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom Vault. Also, make sure you watch this video till the end, because the remaining points are just as important and may protect your health. Reason 3. Financial security after 70 is closely tied to emotional peace. At this stage of life, money is no longer about growth, ambition, or luxury. Instead, it represents safety, independence, medical care, and peace of mind. Many senior men rely on fixed incomes, pensions, or carefully planned savings to meet their daily needs and healthcare expenses. Remarriage can unintentionally complicate financial stability. Shared expenses may increase, spending habits may differ, and legal responsibilities may change. Even when both partners act with honesty and goodwill, financial misunderstandings can still occur, especially if expectations are not discussed clearly from the beginning. There may also be concerns related to inheritance, property ownership, and long-term medical costs. These issues can quietly create stress, which affects sleep, appetite, and overall health. Financial stress at this age does not usually appear loudly. Instead, it slowly drains emotional energy and creates ongoing worry. It is important to ask yourself whether your financial plans are designed to support only your own needs or whether you are prepared for shared financial responsibility. Protecting your financial stability is not selfish. It is a practical and wise step toward preserving dignity and independence in later life. Reason 4. Family harmony can be affected in unexpected ways. Even though your children are adults, their emotional connection to you remains strong. Remarriage after 70 can sometimes create confusion, concern, or discomfort within families, even if these feelings are not expressed openly. Adult children may worry about changes in inheritance, caregiving responsibilities, or emotional distance. They may fear losing a connection to a parent or feel uncertain about new family roles. As a result, you may find yourself managing emotional situations rather than enjoying peaceful relationships. This emotional balancing act can become exhausting, especially when your goal at this stage of life is harmony rather than conflict resolution. It is worth considering whether remarriage will strengthen family bonds or introduce quiet tension that affects everyone involved. Many senior men find greater satisfaction in nurturing existing relationships with children and grandchildren, creating meaningful memories, and passing on wisdom rather than navigating new emotional structures that require constant adjustment. Reason 5. Health changes and care expectations must be considered honestly. After 70, health becomes less predictable. 1 year of good health does not guarantee the next, and energy levels can change without warning. Remarriage often comes with unspoken expectations of mutual caregiving, emotional presence, and shared responsibility during illness. Caregiving requires physical stamina, patience, and emotional resilience. When both partners are older, there is a possibility that both may need care at the same time. This situation can quickly become overwhelming and stressful, particularly if proper support systems are not in place. Stress affects recovery, weakens immunity, and increases the risk of chronic conditions. It is important to reflect honestly on whether you are prepared to provide care if needed, or whether you may need care yourself in the near future. In many cases, professional care services, family support, and maintaining independence provide more stability and reassurance than relying solely on a spouse who may face similar health challenges. Reason 6. Companionship and emotional fulfillment do not require remarriage. Human connection is essential at every stage of life, but marriage is not the only way to experience companionship and emotional warmth. Friendships, social activities, community involvement, and spiritual engagement often provide deep satisfaction without the pressure of legal or emotional obligations. Many senior men find comfort in simple routines such as meeting friends, attending community events, volunteering, or spending time with family. These connections offer conversation, laughter, and understanding, while allowing personal freedom and independence. It is important to ask yourself what you truly need at this stage of life. For many men, calm companionship, respect, and emotional safety matter more than formal commitment. Freedom from constant adjustment and emotional negotiation often supports better mental and physical health. Choosing not to remarry does not mean choosing isolation. It means choosing connection in a form that aligns with your current needs and energy. Let us take a moment to reflect on what we have discussed today. After the age of 70, remarriage can introduce challenges related to emotional sensitivity, financial stability, family harmony, health responsibilities, and daily peace. These challenges do not mean that love is no longer possible. They simply mean that love takes a different form at this stage of life. Love after 70 often looks like self-respect, calm routines, emotional safety, and thoughtful choices. It looks like protecting your health, preserving your dignity, and valuing peace over pressure. You have already lived a full and meaningful life, and you no longer need to prove anything to anyone. The choices you make now should serve your well-being and support the quiet happiness you deserve. If this message felt helpful or comforting, please like this video, share it with someone who may benefit from it, and subscribe to the Wisdom Vault for more calm and thoughtful reflections designed for this stage of life. Growing older is not about losing life. It is about choosing wisely how to live the years that remain, with clarity, dignity, and peace. Thank you for spending this time with me. You are valued, you are respected, and you are not alone.